Your consistent acts create your reality. Did you know that most of us spend our lives waiting for someday? We tell ourselves, someday I'll be happy, someday I'll pursue my dreams, someday I'll live the life I truly want. But what if someday was actually today? What if I told you that the secret to unlocking your best life lies in a simple shift of perspective? In today's video, we're diving deep into the transformative power of living as if, a strategy that can revolutionize how you approach your goals and dreams right here, right now. Throughout this discussion, we'll explore how changing your mindset can not only alter your immediate reality, but also set the stage for long-term fulfillment. I'm thrilled to share these insights, and I genuinely believe you'll find them both empowering and practical. If you value what we're doing here, consider showing your support with a simple, free favor. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us keep producing content that makes a difference. And remember, each part of this video builds on the last, so make sure you don't skip any sections. Stick with me throughout, and let's unlock some powerful strategies together. Let's make some day today. Transform your reality by believing it's already here. Let me share a little secret with you. There was a time when I lived my life on hold, always waiting for the right moment to make my dreams a reality. It's easy to think that someday we'll have everything perfectly aligned, and then we'll be ready to chase what truly matters. But that day, it never just arrives. We have to create it. I started to wonder, what if I lived as though I had already achieved my dreams? This shift in perspective was inspired by the Stoic philosophy, which teaches us to focus on our responses to life's events rather than the events themselves. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius believed in using every moment as an opportunity to practice virtues like courage, wisdom, and self-discipline. So I asked myself, what would a successful version of me do today? Not tomorrow, not next year, but today. This approach transformed my life. Instead of waiting for opportunities, I began creating them. I acted with the confidence and intent of someone who had already succeeded, which led to opening doors I didn't even know existed. It was as if the universe began conspiring to help me succeed, because I was finally in tune with what I truly wanted and believed I could achieve it. Now, think about your own aspirations. What could you achieve if you started living as if your biggest goals were already accomplished? Imagine the sense of purpose and direction you'd feel each morning. It's not about fooling yourself, but about stepping into the shoes of your best self and moving forward with unwavering conviction. Remember, as if isn't about pretending, it's a practice in courage, a way to bridge the gap between who you are and who you want to be. And in this gap, you'll find not just the achievements you desire, but also a profound growth in your character. Because when we act as if, we're not just living, we're thriving, propelled by the best version of ourselves. This is the Stoic way, living each day as if it were both your first and your last, with the vitality and vigor that comes from aligning with your deepest values and ambitions. So let's take that step today, not tomorrow. Act as if you are already the person who has achieved everything you ever wanted. Watch how it changes not just the things you do, but also how you feel about everything around you. This isn't just about achieving goals, it's about transforming your entire outlook on life. Visualize your triumphs to make them reality. Let's delve into a powerful exercise that I often revisit when I feel disconnected from my goals. Visualization isn't just about dreaming, it's about creating a vivid mental blueprint of your future. Picture this. You've already reached your biggest goal. Can you see it? What are you doing? Who are you with? And most importantly, how do you feel in that moment? I remember the first time I practiced this. I was aiming to become a sought-after speaker, sharing insights on life and Stoicism. I visualized stepping onto the stage, the lights, the audience's expectant faces, and the profound silence waiting for my first words. But the true shift came when I focused deeply on the emotions I felt in that vision: confidence, excitement, fulfillment. This wasn't just a daydream, it was an emotional rehearsal for what was to come. The Stoics were masters at using visualization not as a form of escape, but as a tool to prepare for reality. They called it premeditatio malorum, where they visualized challenges to prepare themselves mentally and emotionally for future hardships. In our context, it means using visualization to fortify ourselves against the fear of failure and to bolster our resolve to pursue our ambitions relentlessly. Every morning, I spend a few minutes in this visualization, not just seeing, but feeling the reality of my achievements. This practice propels me out of bed with a vigor that no cup of coffee can match. It's about aligning my emotional and mental state with my goals, ensuring that my actions throughout the day are intentional and directed towards making that visualized future a reality. So, what vision will you hold in your mind? What emotions will you choose to feel as if your success is already a fact? Embrace this technique and weave it into your daily routine. Feel the joy, the pride, and the sheer thrill of achieving your dreams, even before they materialize. This isn't just optimism, it's a strategic rehearsal for your success. Embody your dreams, today to succeed tomorrow. I'll let you in on a transformative moment from my own journey. There was a time when my aspirations seemed like distant, almost unreachable stars. I wanted to be recognized as a leader in my field, influential and inspiring. But here's the twist. I decided to start acting the part long before the accolades and the acknowledgements came my way. I began each day asking myself, how would the leader I aspire to be handle this? Whether it was dealing with a challenging client or navigating setbacks, I stepped up. I made decisions from a place of authority and confidence, not hesitance. I dressed the part, spoke with conviction, and perhaps most importantly, I made strategic choices that a successful person in my field would make. This wasn't about putting on a mask. It was about embodying the best version of myself, one decision at a time. Now think about your own goals. How does the person you want to become handle their day-to-day tasks? How do they interact with others? How do they manage stress and setbacks? Emulating these behaviors before they become a reality is not just play acting, it's a profound exercise in self-actualization. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in accordance with nature, which in our case translates to living in a way that aligns with our true potential. Let me ask you this. What can you do right now, today, that aligns with your vision of success? Maybe it's tackling a project you've been postponing, or perhaps it's reaching out to a mentor. Each action, no matter how small, is a step towards becoming who you really want to be. And yes, there will be days when it feels like you're just going through the motions. But remember, consistency is key. Every act, every decision in line with your future self fortifies your path to becoming that person. Cultivate the feelings of success before it arrives. Embracing your new role before it materializes isn't just a strategy, it's a profound transformation that begins deep within your emotional core. Let me share a chapter from my own life when I first aimed to become a motivational speaker. Every morning, before the sun even peeped through the curtains, I stood in front of my mirror, rehearsed my speeches, and soaked in the applause I imagined echoed through packed auditoriums. This wasn't about wishful thinking, it was about emotionally anchoring myself in my future reality. I still remember the butterflies, the nerves, and the raw energy I felt during those mornings. But here's the key. I didn't wait for my first actual applause to feel validated or successful. I allowed myself to feel proud, capable, and genuinely moved by my own journey and the messages I shared. This emotional resonance is crucial because it cements your belief in your potential and your path. It's what fuels you through setbacks and rejections. The Stoics often spoke about amor fati, a love of fate. They believed in embracing every aspect of life, not just the joys, but also the challenges, as necessary parts of your journey. By allowing myself to feel the emotions associated with my desired role, I was practicing amor fati. I was not just waiting for success to come and find me, I was living it in my emotions and reactions. How about you? What emotions would you feel if you achieved your greatest aspiration right now? Try to live those emotions today. Feel the joy, the gratitude, and yes, even the responsibility that comes with your dreams. When you align your emotional state with your ambitions, you're not just hoping for a future, you're living it. This practice doesn't just prepare you for your dreams, it attracts them to you, because when you resonate with the energy of your dreams, the world can't help but respond in kind. Small actions, monumental outcomes. In my own journey, the realization hit hard that dreaming big wasn't enough. It had to be paired with daily, actionable steps. This lesson became clear when I committed to writing a book on Stoicism. The project was daunting, immense like a mountain looming before me. However, breaking it down into daily, manageable tasks transformed what seemed like an insurmountable task into a series of small, achievable victories. Every morning I made it a point to write at least one page. Some days the words flowed freely, other days it was like squeezing water from a stone. But regardless of the struggle, this daily discipline was non-negotiable. It wasn't just about progress on my book. It was about reinforcing my identity as a writer and a scholar of Stoicism. I was living proof of Marcus Aurelius's advice: the color of your thoughts dyes your soul. By focusing on positive, proactive thoughts, I colored my soul with resilience and determination. Let's translate this approach to your goals. What's your mountain? Maybe it's starting a business, learning a new skill, or improving your health. Break it down. What can you do each day to move one step closer to your summit? It could be as simple as reading for 20 minutes, practicing a new language, or choosing a healthy meal over fast food. These actions might seem small in isolation, but cumulatively, they wield the power to transform your life. Now, I challenge you to think of 3 small actions you can take daily. Write them down. Make them as specific and time-bound as possible. For example, instead of saying, "I will work out more," say, "I will walk for 30 minutes at 7 a.m." This specificity acts as a mini-contract with yourself, and fulfilling it daily builds integrity and self-trust. In the spirit of Stoicism, remember that it's not the actions themselves, but how we approach them that matters. Approach each small task with the same seriousness and dedication as you would your ultimate goal. This mindset shift is pivotal. Each small task completed is a brick in the foundation of your dreams. By committing to these daily actions, you're not just hoping for a better future, you're actively constructing it. Face your fears and forge ahead with confidence. Doubts and fears are companions on any journey worth taking. I recall the early days of my speaking career, standing backstage, heart pounding, palms sweaty, questioning if I was really cut out for this. What if I failed? What if the audience didn't resonate with what I had to say? These questions would swirl in my mind, threatening to undermine all my preparations and efforts. But then, I would take a deep breath and remember a core Stoic principle. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality, as Seneca said. This realization was transformative. It reminded me that fear is often not rooted in the actual events that confront us, but in the shadows of our minds. Acknowledging this didn't make the fear disappear instantly, but it allowed me to see it for what it truly was, an internal obstacle, not an external truth. Facing skepticism, whether from within or from others, is a part of the process of pursuing anything that defies the status quo. To move past it, the first step is to simply acknowledge these fears without judgment. Say to yourself, "Yes, I'm scared. Yes, I have doubts." This acknowledgement is not a sign of weakness, but of profound courage. It is the first step in reclaiming your power from the clutches of fear. Next, ask yourself, what would I do if I weren't afraid? This question opens up a space for you to explore possibilities without the weight of fear. Often, it's not about eliminating fear, but about learning to move forward in spite of it. This is what the Stoics excel at. They harness their perceptions and focus on what is within their control, which is always their own actions and responses. Turn this into a practice. Each time you encounter a doubt or fear, write it down, acknowledge it, and then write a counter-statement that reflects the action you would take if fear were not a factor. This practice not only helps in managing fears, but also builds a reservoir of courage and resilience that you can draw upon over time. Shape your destiny with daily dedication. When I first embarked on my journey to integrate Stoicism into my daily life, I quickly learned that the true challenge wasn't in understanding its principles, but in applying them consistently. Every day, in every decision, I needed to embody patience, resilience, and wisdom. Traits that are easy to admire, but incredibly challenging to live out, especially when you're faced with the stresses and pressures of everyday life. I remember one particularly grueling week when everything that could go wrong did. Clients were unhappy, deadlines were missed, and my personal life felt just as chaotic. It was during these moments, these tests, that the power of consistency became crystal clear. Instead of letting despair take hold, I focused on maintaining my Stoic practices, reflecting on my reactions, focusing on what I could control, and accepting what I couldn't. This didn't solve all my problems overnight, but it helped me navigate them with a clarity and calmness that previously eluded me. Consistency in our actions transforms what are singular acts into habits, and eventually into traits of our character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Your consistent acts create your reality." Each day, by choosing to act in alignment with my values, no matter the circumstances, I was not only developing resilience, but also actively creating the life I envisioned. Here's what I suggest to anyone watching this. Find your practice, your anchor, that thing that you commit to doing every day, no matter how small. It could be as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for, meditating for 5 minutes, or reading a page of a thought-provoking book. The size of the action isn't what transforms you, it's the regularity. It's about doing it on the days you feel good and pushing through on the days when you don't. Think of it as forging your own character in the fire of daily life. Each day is an opportunity to reinforce who you are and who you want to become. This consistency is what builds the bridge between your current self and the ideal self you envision. Thank you for joining me today on Stoic Journal. Remember, the journey to a Stoic life is not about the leaps, but the steps we take each day. Stay steadfast, embrace the process, and the path will shape you as much as you shape it. Don't forget to check out the suggested video on your screen to continue exploring the profound wisdom of Stoicism. Together, let's keep walking this path of growth and resilience. Thank you for being a part of this community. Your presence truly enriches our collective journey.